Competitors, the Olympic silver medalist from London representing Iran. And next to him, the first of two Russians, European silver medalist Timur Naniev, only 21 years of age. Bartlemy Bonk, experienced bronze medal at the Olympic Games, European champion this year. David Bedzanian representing Russia, silver and bronze world championship medals. Roman Zaitsev, seventh in Europe this year. Simon Martyrosyan,
from Latvia,
all the record holders for Simon at youth level. Roman Alta Plesniks, European bronze medalist. Alexander Zakhirov
from the Republic of Korea. So Hee-yup,
the Asian champion of the season.
From Poland, Courious Mikowski,
this season's European bronze medalist.
And from Uzbekistan,
number 11, fifth in the European Championships a couple of years ago, Ivan Efremov. So these are the world records, and you can see famous names there, and whether we get anywhere near those, only time will tell. But alongside myself, I'm David Goldstrom, here's Michaela Breeze. And Michaela, I think we're going to have to go some way in this competition to even get near what happened 12 months ago in Almaty. And, you know, it blew you away, it blew everybody away. Ilya Inin won it, but what an amazing climax.
It was an unbelievable competition and a pleasure to be a part of. Are we going to see anything like that today? I'm never going to say never, but my goodness me, it'll have to go some way to get close to the excitement of last year.
So here we go with the men's 105 kilo class. Michaela Breeze alongside myself, David Goldstrom. In the B group earlier in the day, the best total 394, and that was set by Duzmurotov of Uzbekistan. Rather disappointing that we don't have Nuradinov, who was the silver medalist, who was involved in that fantastic finale last year with us. But also some pretty decent performances by some European lifters. Jürgen Spiess of Germany, 381, and also 393 from Basanov of Belarus, 395 from the Azerbaijani Dadashbayli. So I don't think any of those are ultimately going to challenge tonight's A finalist here, but time will tell. But out to come, first of all, the Asian champion, Seo from Korea, to take his first attempt, and the bar at 170 kilos. Just a reminder, snatch world record is 30 kilos more, 200, set by Andrei Aramnov for Belarus back in the Beijing Olympics of 2008.
A nice first attempt in the competition. Seo of Korea looking like he's enjoying it out there on the big stage.
Well, one thing's for sure, Michaela, if we're going to get anywhere near the sort of competition that we had last year, everybody, every single lifter in this class, all 11 of them, are going to have to lift to the max.
Well, yes, they are. I don't think we're going to see the world records that we saw a year ago. However, looking at the start list and the weights that all of these lifters have posted, yet again, as it has been in every competition so far this week, extremely close. Only a matter of kilos separating all of them.
Yeah, just 10 based on their entry totals. So you could say it's anybody's championship, this one.
As we've said all week as well, the most successful lifter is likely to be the lifters that are most consistent. Those that execute the majority of their lifts are likely to come out on top.
So in the absence of Ruslan Nuradinov of Uzbekistan, who won the title in 2013 and was runner-up in that, well, legendary competition last year, this is the Uzbek representative. Ukrainian rather than Uzbek, I should say. Beg your pardon. Trying to keep focused as we go through this. So Zaitsev, 406 kilo total. Starting off here, 173.
Well, no problems first attempt, just a few words to the crowd to say, yes, I'm here, and I mean business.
Interesting, one of two men who weighed in, as you can see, less than 104 kilos. He was 103.53, but Bonk of Poland, 103.46, so he's the lightest of the class. Mikowski of Poland is the heaviest.
Plesnik's just having last words of wisdom from his coaches before he's to join the competition.
Yeah, Artur Plesnik's good performance in the President's Cup a few years ago, and you can see 175 kilos. That's a couple more than he lifted in the Europeans when he finished in the top 10, but it was not a particularly stellar performance from him in Georgia. It's a weight he's lifted before. Representing Latvia, 23 years of age, did go to the London Olympics, and 175 was the best of his attempts in London.
Working hard to steady himself in the receiving position, but that's a good lift, and as you said, slightly more than he lifted at the Europeans, so he's clearly in better shape coming into this event.
Well, this is the crucial event, as we've said all week. The major opportunity, the penultimate opportunity to earn sufficient points to perhaps earn a place for yourself if selected by your National Olympic Committee for Rio 2016. Now, Courious Mikowski now. Representing Poland. Decent start by the European bronze medalist of this season. Twice he's finished in bronze medal positions in European competitions. And 175, equal to what he achieved a year ago in the Worlds.
Well, really good technically. Just maintains a nice, strong back as he comes off the floor. You'll see a lot of lifters lift their backside as they take the strain. He was very strong in the back.
Polish lifters haven't really had the best of it so far in these championships. Could be interesting with him, and particularly Bartlomiej Bonk still to start. Seo, second attempt for the Korean, up 5 kilos.
No, not particularly close. Like to see that from the side to be able to give the technical analysis. Good extension. If anything, just through the shoulders back a tiny bit. That sent the momentum backwards. Left the bar out in front.
Quite a few here, Michaela, who are well behind the Azerbaijani, who lifted 185 in the B group.
That was a huge snatch from a B group. And the trouble is, though, the reason he's not in the A group is his clean and jerk was down on 210, which is quite a bit below what we're expecting these men to be clean and jerking today. So
historically, this competition actually has been won in the past by a B group lifter. It was a big surprise in Antalya back in 2001 when Vladimir Shmochkov came from a B group to wrestle the title for Russia ahead of Bunyami Sudas of Turkey and Razorenov of the Ukraine, who'd won the first of these titles when the weight categories were established back in 1998. So he's got a third attempt here. Ilya Inin, who won the competition last year, with 4:32. Not the world record, but mighty impressive. So 185, the best in the B group earlier on. So these men have got a lot to do to get anywhere near it at the moment.
Oh, so disappointing. Not too far away, but hey, he's left back on 170. 2 failures. That's not the kind of competition that these lifters have worked so hard for. He's going to have to see if he can rectify the problem in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, it'd be mighty disappointing with that because he hasn't improved on his Asian Championship performance from earlier in the season. So here's the man who I transferred inadvertently to Uzbekistan. I've now returned him to the Ukraine. So up 5 kilos. That's still 178.
Wow, that's tidy. 5 kilos up from his first attempt.
Feeling good about himself.
He is looking very confident. Body language says an awful lot when you come onto this kind of platform.
Indeed, in the early days of this weight category, Igor Rozarenov won it in '98, and then his teammate Dennis Gottfried, who was a really good lifter at this weight, he succeeded in taking this world title in 1999, and not a bad total. I mean, Gottfried actually totaled up 430 in 1999.
Two out of 2. Oh, needs to stand still. Nearly came unstuck right at the end. These big men are moving at speed. They're generating some power. Good to see most of these guys now in the heavier categories actually in really good physical condition.
Yeah, the speed with which they move the bar off the platform is very much the same as the motorway, autoroute or autobahn speed limit. I mean,
Yes.
it's a difficult measurement. It's one of the things that actually weightlifting is working on. It's a statistic graphic that we hope to bring to the competition sooner rather than later, just to give you an indication of just how fast this movement is. It's explosive, volcanic.
Oh, Plesniak's the best lift so far. And you know what, that's probably the best lift I think I've ever seen him do. Looking really explosive, is really developing through his early 20s and becoming a much more powerful, dynamic lifter than we've seen in the last couple of years.
179 personal best. That is moving forward. So well done, good job. And now the imposing figure of David Bedzanian, bronze medalist last year in that epic 105 kilo world championship. Can he move up a couple of slots? Can he get the shiniest of the medals?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it, last year he broke a world record in the clean and jerk, and it still wasn't enough to take the victory. Oh, hang on, you missed the steps. I think it's pretty disorientating for the athletes coming off the stage because their coaches are stood a bit to the side of the steps. Bit short though. He's going to need more extension, I think, for the next couple of lifts. Very, very strong lifter though.
Simon Martyrossian. Again, Armenia have yet to really make their mark in these championships. The youth records are actually set at over 94 kilos, and this young man owns all of them. He's only 18 years of age as it is. Youth Olympic silver medalist last season.
Wow, super wide stance as he comes off the floor. I often get asked the question when I'm doing my seminars, where should the feet be in the starting position? And the answer to that question is try and jump as high as you can. Wherever you put your feet to execute as much power as possible, that's where your feet should be at the start. But Marty, and you can just see here, takes an unusually wide stance. For him, that's clearly the most powerful position.
Goes into overall third position. And now Zaitsev from Ukraine to come out, and he's going for 180. Marty Rossin is heavier, so this would moving up into second place in the snatch ranking. Still the man from the B group, leading on 185 kilos. Dadash Bali of Azerbaijan. They haven't got to him yet.
That's 3 out of 3. Zaitsev having a tremendous competition. 173, 178, 180. And that's a 5 kilo personal best, so he's going to leave this first half of the competition really happy. Good extension and super quick under the bar. Fully in control. We're going to see a lot more of this man over the next couple of years.
And you just get the feeling, don't you, even that we're still at the early stages, that, you know, anybody who puts in 6 out of 6 or 5 out of 6 today could well prosper. So, onto the stage. Nawab Nazir Shalal for Iran, 26 years of age, Olympic silver medalist in London, snatched 184 kilos, a personal best in London. Iran also a country yet to make their mark here at these championships, but these last two categories, this one and the super heavyweights.
Well, Nazir Shalal under pressure. Most of the, or in fact all of the lifters, apart from himself so far, have been successful on their first attempts. They're all in the competition.
Yeah, the Iranians, of course, have got this tremendous disappointment, haven't they? Because of Salim.
Yes.
Their superstar heavyweight, super heavyweight, not being able to...
Yeah, he's not competing tomorrow. The reasons that we've heard, he had an accident in training, collapsed underneath the weight, and his ACL has gone. So I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago he underwent knee surgery, so he's going to be on the road to recovery right about now. And we'll just have to sit and be content watching this from the armchair.
181 is his second attempt. Mikowski has 181, but it will be his third attempt, so this man has to follow himself.
Yeah, Nazir Shalal in picture right now, taking a slow walk back to the platform. Just taking this time to retape his thumbs. Sometimes the tape works its way loose, and you may wonder why the athletes are taping their thumbs. It's simply because we use hook grip when lifting. It means we trap our thumb between the bar and our fingers, so that the grip strength and the forearm strength is never an issue. Trap your thumb, and then you don't lose your grip.
Well, some good Iranian support. I mean, Houston is a very cosmopolitan city, as is America, a very cosmopolitan country, so I'm not sure whether the fans are actually some of them from Iran itself, or probably most of them who now live here in the United States. But that's a worrisome miss first time off. You know, already his ambitions are limited. He hasn't increased the bar or increased the weight, concentrating on getting this 181 to kickstart his challenge for the championship.
Well, he's got it. It's going to be a relief. If you watch the slow-mo replay, you'll see his starting position. His backside is very low. And then as he takes the strain, he lifts his backside up. That movement up with the backside is going to throw the body weight forwards onto his toes, and that's probably why he came unstuck on his first attempt. Good time to get underneath the bar. He's pretty much underneath before the bar even changes direction. Just shows how quick these lifters are. They're not trying to rip it up. They're not trying to pull it higher. They're trusting the speed underneath.
So Mikowski also going for 181 to put himself up into third place in the snatch rankings. And that one got away.
Well, 3 kilo increase there could be costly. Clearly very frustrated.
And still, Timon Naniev of Russia to start, Bartlomiej Bąk of Poland, also Alexander Zakhirkov of Kazakhstan and Efremov of Uzbekistan to start their challenge. And so Naniev to come out for his first attempt. David Bedzanian, his teammate, started on 180. Naniev coming out here on 182. Did this in the Europeans, in Georgia, in Tbilisi in April.
Nice. Really dynamic first attempt. And when you have a teammate like Bedzanian to aspire to, just shows how much these athletes feed off each other and push each other along.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's the 21-year-old, Bedzanian, 6 more years experience.
Really good technically, explosive through the second phase. And again, super quick underneath the bar.
And it could be Naniev's night, you know, because Naniev has the better recent form. Now, Plesniks, you were pleased with the second attempt. Now this is the third one, up 3 kilos. Going for 182 to pull himself up, if he can, from 8th place into the silver medal position.
And this would be a new personal best. Not to be. And you saw the clock come up onto the screen down to 5 seconds before he lifted. The athletes are fully aware of how long they have. There's a clock just backstage that they'll see as they walk through to the competition platform. As they walk onto the platform, there's also a clock on the far side. So they'll have a quick glance at that clock before they approach the bar.
So the first appearance of Bartlomiej Bąk. And opening up here on 183 kilos. Olympic bronze medalist, world bronze medalist on his Polish stage in Wrocław back in 2013. And this season's European #1.
Not quite.
This is what I mean about getting those attempts in, you know, and getting that first one. It really sets you up so well when you get the first one.
Yeah, good extension. Not too much wrong with that. Just simply didn't get the bar traveling high enough. And that's just a sign of lack of power in the legs. So he, based on that replay, I'd say he's under a spot of pressure.
So Uzbekistan, which will host the Asian Championship next year, which will be the final Olympic qualifying opportunity for Rio for Asian athletes in Tashkent. Experienced, this man, 29 years of age.
Oh, explosive through the middle. Has to work hard in the receiving position, just a little soft. Caught the weight and then sat in a little bit deeper. Big guy, long way to move that bar.
Yeah, I've seen him pick up more than this when he's crept into the super heavyweight ranks. Sort of very light super heavyweight.
Just see chest forwards there. That's going to put strain on the shoulders that we don't want.
Now. Little divine guidance. He can do this. He really can. I still believe he can do it.
I think he's lacking in the legs today. Just not generating enough upward momentum on the bar to give him space to get underneath. See the replay here, just almost like his arms never really... That was better than the first. It was pretty much at arm's length, but not quite overhead. He's under pressure.
Well,
2 failures.
Indeed. But even if he gets this one, again, you know, he's going to be left on 183, and there are plenty who could surpass that total. Still one man in the wings who's yet to start. This is Alexander Zaki, Zakikov of Kazakhstan. So bonk. No margin for error. This is the one. It has to be the one to keep him in the competition. The auditorium, not just the Polish fans, but the auditorium knowing exactly the situation this man is in. Lift this, you stay alive. Miss, and your day is done.
Oh, that's better. Can he hold it? Yes, he can, but can he stand? This is a long time to be waiting.
Can't. And again, the leg strength into question. And left with no chance of a total, just maybe the opportunity to go for a consolation clean and jerk medal. Not what I expected, not what I wished. And another disappointment for the Polish team.
Really looked to be lacking in leg strength. I mean, most lifters will stand and will battle their way out of this position, but he looked to be stable, so the fact that he was holding it for so long probably cost him.
Bedzanian taking a 1 to 185, but heavier than the man in the B group, so this is still only going to put him into silver medal position.
Oh, very short. Got the bar to mid-thigh and tried dropping under. No real leg or hip extension there. That's going to limit how much power he can exert.
A few men running into trouble, and you're starting to, or at least I'm starting to wonder here, whether the man from Azerbaijan, Dadashbaeli, whether he might actually nick a medal. He shouldn't, but he might.
So I was definitely trying to find that lifter in this group, but he's not. You're on about the guy that won the B group.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
185 is the weight that he lifted. He'll be sat in the auditorium now watching and anxiously waiting. We do still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lifters that can go ahead, all of which have posted slightly higher weights. But hey, it only takes a few lifters to miss.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody comes under pressure, and suddenly it's a different ball game, and the Russians. Now, what have they done with Bedzanian? What have they done with Bedzanian?
Probably up a kilo, is it?
186.
Was it 186 or 185 again? I think they were just confirmed. I didn't see it.
It was difficult. I thought it was a 6. Zhishikov of Kazakhstan.
186 then, yeah.
So this to call a halt to the mini march of the man from the B group.
Well, first attempt, very impressive. Zaichikov in the competition, stamping his authority. Oh, that was very impressive. And he clearly has the leg strength to stand up with ease. Marty from Armenia, second attempt, 186.
Well, the first one was really impressive. He looked like a giant on the stage. 18 years of age. Might it be his night?
Oh, that's what you call a dynamic lift. Very, very powerful and explosive. Coming off the platform, just like that was a job done. Still one attempt remaining. Really explosive,
yeah,
super confident under the bar.
Got to say that now we've got to the 105 kilo class, which is 231.5 pounds, or something like 16.5 stone. A 6 kilo increase is not so daunting, but nonetheless.
Well, Martyrosyan, how old is he? He's still a junior, still a couple of years in the juniors.
Well, yeah, exactly. He's 18.
And that was 3 kilos above the world youth record that he set a couple of years ago. So, what a potential athlete for the future.
So Nazir Shalal, Nawab Nazir Shalal for Iran. Third attempt, also going for 186. Body weight would put him into second place in the snatch. A little bit lighter than Martyrosyan.
I put that failure down to the starting position, lifting his backside up, sending the weight onto his toes, so hard to recover. I encourage athletes to get themselves in the set position and then a positive leg drive off the floor. There should be no forwards or backwards movement, because that is only going to send the bar out and put a swing on it.
Our man from the B group now down in the bronze medal position, and it should be short-lived, because Bedzanian coming out here now 186. It was an extra kilo that they put on. Now, difference of opinion here between Mikhailo and myself. I'm going to reckon he's going to make it. Mikhailo's not so sure.
He needs to use his legs, and he doesn't.
And yet again, Mikhailo beats me.
Can we start having a penny bet on each of these lifts? No, the trouble is, when you see an error from these lifters, it's almost predictable where the way the competition's going to go. Watch here, he doesn't get the extension of the hip quite as much as he needs.
He's not the lifter of last year, is he, Bedzanian?
Well, we know he's never usually as strong on the snatch. His forte is in the second half of the competition, so let's not rule him out just yet.
No, as you said right from the beginning, it's so close. The entry total's just 10 kilos, the spread. Now, this is Efremov being asked to come off the stage.
That's because it's not his attempt.
It's Naniev, isn't it? Yes,
yep.
It is, Naniev.
Well, that's what happens when you try and yank the bar with your arms. Nothing wrong with the bar. You try and yank it with the upper body, that's when you risk losing your grip. But these lifters should be locked on, that thumb trapped underneath. Here, just pulling a bit too hard with the upper body. And that's what happens. Kind of expected to see the tape fly off his thumb as well, but the tape's still fixed.
So now Efremov from Uzbekistan, weight the same, 187. For first place.
That's there.
Yep.
Great effort.
Just the odd step forward, but the feet were steady in line. He was in control. All essential elements for the referees to give him 3 white lights, which they have. And Nuruddinov may not be here, but this man at the moment doing a job for Uzbekistan.
He's doing it well. Very rangy lifter, so far for the bar to travel overhead. Fully committed, supremely confident.
Lift's running out now. Naniev has only got 1 attempt left, and that will be at 187. Marty Rossian has put the bar to 191. Zashikov of Kazakhstan, 189. He's got 2 attempts left, so at the moment he's in the strongest position with 2 attempts to play. So Naniev now 187. He's currently in 5th place, but this would zoom him up into the lead. It wouldn't necessarily guarantee him a medal, but his chances would be significantly improved. New personal best attempt. Can he stand up? No, he can't.
He's gone. He's okay. From that receiving position, it's not too far to fall. Your backside's near enough on the platform anyway. That was so close, and he is going to regret that one for a long time, I think.
Well, you can see the damage. Back down to 182.
Back down in 5th. That's there. Just goes back and can't quite hold on to it. There's a point where it's not safe to hold on any longer. That's when the elbows or shoulders are likely to go. You're better off bailing out of it safely, which he does. I'm not sure he's going to score well on his gymnastic element, though.
Zashikov, 2nd attempt here. Big opportunity to command. He would go into the lead here. 5 kilo increase, 191.
Not quite to arm's length. He's close. Still has 1 attempt remaining.
So does Simon Martyrossian. So does Efremov.
Zaychikov, he is the lighter man out of the 3 of them left in the competition. So if they're all successful on this weight, he'll be the one to take the gold medal. So it's such an important weight.
Well, he's looked impressive, hasn't he? He really has a command of the platform, doesn't he? Now, can he finish this off?
Oh, unlucky. Well, Martyrossian, his 2nd attempt, 186. That was a personal best by 2 kilos. That 191 attempt, very, very close. Just shows how much potential this young man has. Still only a junior.
Yeah, 191 would have left him about 9 kilos short of the junior world record. I know that sounds a lot, but at 18 years of age, I mean...
He's got potential, a couple of years.
You know, and that's an Andrei Aramnov record. So, in the lead at the moment is Efremov. He's put the bar to 192. Zashikov now on 191 in second place. So this to put a little pressure on the one man who remains alive in this first half of the competition.
That's better. Excellent lifting. That puts him up into the gold medal position. Efremov has seen what's gone on, put his weight up to 192. That's the weight that Efremov now needs to regain that lead. Brilliant lifting by Zaichikov.
Yeah, Zaichikov and Efremov, if Efremov does this, and you got 192 and 191, they take an interesting cushion into the second half of the competition.
Worth pointing out, though, that the man in picture, Efremov, his clean and jerk is probably the weakest of the whole field. So he needs as much of a lead as he can in the snatch. This is a very important lift for him.
It's a heck of a weight. It's a heck of a personal best. But this for the gold medal.
It's there.
And he's taken the scalp there of Zaichikov by a kilo, and he takes the gold medal for Uzbekistan and leads by a kilo at the halfway stage, 192, and Zaichikov will have to settle for the silver medal.
He cannot hang around right now. He needs to get himself back into the warm-up room, and he needs to be straight back on a bar, because he is, according to the scoreboard, first lifter out on the clean and jerk. 10 minutes only to get himself ready. That's going to be a big ask as well.
But he's got the gold. Zaichikov has got the silver, and Simon Martyrossian, the 18-year-old for Armenia, the junior, now the bronze medal. And so 192, 191, then we drop to 196, as you can see. And there, the man from the B group there, Darashpali of Azerbaijan, 185. That's how close he got to getting a medal, ahead of the Russian Naniev, who's the best of their two entries. And Poland having a tough time. Mikowski, the only one with a chance of a total. Pulling out 2 out of 3 attempts in the clean and jerk, which earned her the overall silver medal and almost snatched the title away from Kang of China. And this was the effort that she took here, getting the overall silver medal, actually helped onto the stage and helped onto the podium by all her fellow athletes. Impossible to hold back the tears and the pain. And as you said, Michaela, it will take 2-3 days for her to feel any real improvement. And probably, what, a couple of months to recover?
You can see she's barely able to support her own weight. She's clearly hurt herself. Let's hope it's not cartilage or anything of the hip. Hope it's just a muscle strain. But it's going to take her a while to recover from that.
Kang only made 2 out of 6. Pretty lucky in some senses to get the gold medal. Olga Zubova, who took the bronze for Russia, 3 out of 6. Rim, 4 out of 6. The gutsiest performance of the week. So we're going to take another little break, and then we'll be back for the clean and jerk. And it'll be very interesting to see if Mr. Efremov has managed to, as it were, manage his preparation and warm-up to come out for the clean and jerk, because he's either going to be first or second out.
El vino es mi pasión. Es mi forma de vida, ¿no? Desde Monterrey, yo recibo en tiempo real información sobre nuestros viñedos en España. Esto nos permite, a través de las fotografías que recibimos gracias a los satélites, determinar las temperaturas de las vides y poder tomar decisiones, por ejemplo, sobre el riego que se necesita en ciertas áreas de nuestros viñedos.
Hay más de 3.000 satélites y vehículos espaciales en órbita y los utilizamos hoy día para muchos fines, en particular para aplicaciones agrícolas. Algunos de estos satélites tienen que llegar a soportar temperaturas superiores a los 2000 grados centígrados y, por supuesto, tienen que estar hechos de materiales que permitan resistirlo. La Fórmula 1 es un muy buen banco de pruebas, ya que los motores y los tubos de escape de los monoplazas soportan un rango de temperaturas muy similar y, por lo tanto, tenemos que utilizar materiales muy similares.
Noi sviluppiamo con loro questi materiali, con le aziende aerospaziali, con le aziende fornitrici. Nel caso della resistenza ad alta temperatura, andando a fare dei test su diversi materiali e su diversi processi che portano a realizzare il materiale.
Es un gran paso para mejorar la calidad de nuestros cultivos, del trabajo y para mejorar la vida de las personas que trabajamos en el campo.
So, a couple of minutes to go before we get going with the clean and jerk. Michaela Breeze, together with myself, David Goldstrom. Chance to look at the best three performances, and this is Simon Marty Rossi and the 18-year-old. 2 out of 3.
186, great lifting, personal best from the junior lifter in this category. He is the world record holder in the youth age groups. I don't think it's going to be long before we see him pushing junior world records.
So, the man who found himself ultimately in silver medal position, Alexander Zashikov.
Zaychikov looking really strong.
191.
Really fast, really explosive. Great leg strength. We're going to have to wait and see what he's capable of in the second half.
And the man who ultimately ended up, put the kilo up to get 192. Ivan Efremov to take the gold medal, but this is still quite a close affair. But it is Efremov and Zaychikov who have the advantage going into the second half of the competition.
Total Quartz, official lubricants partner of the WTCC World Champions.
This is Richard. 10 minutes ago, he was putting his squash kid on spin cycle. But now he's spinning slots 1,000,000 miles a minute. 'Cause right now he's in Sky Vegas with Real King, Rainbow Riches, and over 350 other games with 10 pounds completely free just for joining. Why aren't you in Sky Vegas?
Starting from just £6 a month with no deposit, order now and you could have your furniture in time for Christmas. All savings in the up to 50% off sale must end this Sunday.
We all need help sometimes. Support in times of need. Someone to lean on your side. Irwin Mitchell Solicitors are widely regarded by experts as the #1 personal injury law firm, helping people get the best possible medical care and rehabilitation as well as compensation.
That's why I'm with Irwin Mitchell. Stand by me.
Not exactly his strongest forte. He had proposed a 206 start. He's dropped it to 204. In every sense of the word, he's barely had time to catch his breath. First attempt. The gold medalist from the snatch.
Well, now he has time to recover. But that we've just been discussing during the break. It really is tough for these guys when they're last on the snatch, first on the clean and jerk, 10 minutes, and they've probably got around 7 or 8 warm-up attempts to take. It's almost turns it into a CrossFit competition. This poor guy has had no time to recover at all in the warm-up. Everybody else is doing a nice, leisurely, progressive build-up, and he's had to go flat out, and he's going to be exhausted. He will almost certainly, unless he takes a 10-kilo jump, which he may do. He's walking all the way back to the warm-up room, so I can only assume that he is taking a 10k jump. This should now give him a little bit more time to recover, catch his breath, and compose.
Well, he's actually got to do that because Plesnik's on 2:14. And also Roman Zaitsev, who had 3 good lifts for the Ukraine. And here is Zaitsev. Pretty confident. In fact, he was the only, well, not the only man, because Efremov also got 3 good lifts in, which earned him the gold medal. But this man in 7th place at the halfway stage brings forward 180 kilos. So 12 kilos down on the leader at the halfway stage. And I'll bring you up to date with the performances from the B group after this lift.
Good drive to arm's length. Needs to bring his feet in line, which he does. Then he gets the down signal. Not overly tidy in the jerk phase. You'll see his back leg very straight, which will pull his hips behind the bar. Back foot pointing out to the side as well, which will put strain on the knee. Nonetheless, it was a good lift. Really good out of the clean. Sorry, back leg was not straight, but his hips were behind the bar.
And his feet were ultimately in line. So gets the total and actually moves up into 3rd place overall. Efremov is leading with 396. And just to put that into context, the man who had the best total in the B group, 394, was the Uzbek Sadobek Dusmurotov, and that was the best performance. Spies of Germany totaled 381. Gonzalez of Venezuela 380. 393 for Bersanau of Belarus, and also 395 for Dadashbadi of Azerbaijan, who almost got a bronze medal in the snatch phase. So Seo now for Korea. Down on 170, ranked down in 17th place. And he is having a poor day at the office.
Yeah, look of frustration. What went wrong? Didn't look too bad in terms of receiving position. Good extension. Okay, so we talk about a lifter putting too much effort in. The bar travelled so high that when he hit the bottom position, the bar then came down on top of him and bounced off. Timing is everything.
So here's Efremov out with an 11-kilo increase. This is all he can do, which is make lift after lift, try and build this total, and ultimately he'll be sitting backstage and watching the rest of the competition unfold.
Strong clean. This is partly down to his height. I'd like to know exactly how tall he is, but it's a very long way for that bar to travel, and this is probably why he's struggling in the 2nd phase. Looks to be walking with a bit of a limp as well. Maybe he's carrying a knee injury. Short on the drive. Theo working hard. Needs to stand still, and he does.
Just about.
That was a big effort. Really big effort, having missed his first attempt.
He's lucky he got the down signal, and it's still 2-1. So I'm suspecting that they were thinking that he hadn't, that particular referee not thinking that he was stable, unless they saw a press out on the right arm, which we didn't spot.
Looks okay.
So, jury up there, and...
Well, the jury saw something.
Yeah.
The replay that we got wasn't from the best angle. Can we see it from the front? Yeah, there we are. There was movement, yeah.
Yeah. Right arm.
Yep.
Left-hand referee. Right decision. No lift.
No, it's been overruled.
Well, I guess he's got no alternative. Well, he's put the bar up to 216. So while they're sorting this out, just a reflection again on Rim from the women's competition earlier on. I was just thinking, you know, you just hope that when she gets back to Pyongyang, that, you know, people will have either seen it or heard about it or know about it, and she will be fated for being a remarkable sportswoman.
Yeah, she really was tremendous in the previous category, fighting against the odds. I thought she was out of the competition after the snatch. The pain that she looked to be in, the time it took her to get back to the warm-up room was a good 10-15 minutes. And yet she still managed to recover, still managed to come out, and not just take one, but two successful lifts, securing the silver medal.
Let's hope Mr. Kim Jong-il, the dear leader, will take note. Now, Seo from South Korea, under real pressure. Well, he needs the fire in his belly, and he needs a good clean, and he hasn't got it.
What a shame, especially considering he had 215 overhead. Such a shame he's now out of the competition.
No position, no potential Olympic points for his country.
Fighting it. There's not much you can do when you've been knocked backwards. Right on his heels. Can't recover. Worth noting as well, David, that the scoreboard is showing up. The bonk of Poland, having bombed out in the snatch, has decided that he does not wish to take any clean and jerks. There's a strike across the scoreboard, so he's out.
Now, Simon Martyrosyan opening up on 216. He's got a bronze medal. I think he's really an exciting prospect. Now, what can he make of the clean and jerk?
No, I'm not going to pass that.
No. The hips went behind, and there was no way to try and duck walk underneath that again.
His arms had bent as well. Pretty good clean. Hips just slightly behind the bar, but the bar was never really at arm's length.
Well, this man is very much working in his own range, isn't he? Roman Zaitsev of the Ukraine looking for 5 out of 5. This is a pretty modest increase, 2 kilos. So maybe he's beginning to realize that there is a limit to his ambition. He's done 220 this season.
No. Clearly struggles in the second phase of the lift.
And there's the reason why it was a 2 kilo increase.
Yeah, the clean was so strong, so comfortable. Looks like he went dizzy after the clean. See the bar here, sits quite high on the shoulders.
Looks away from the windpipe, but it's not the best of angles.
Just not enough drive, trying to shove with the arms.
So Marty Rossian on again.
Wow. 2 failures on 216, only 1 attempt remaining, and if I'm honest, neither of those jerks have looked particularly close. He's only going to have a couple of minutes to recover. He'll be back out very soon, so won't have that much time to catch his breath.
And from a competition which started with just a 10-kilo spread across all 11 lifters, it's really fractured, hasn't it? And broken up with the amount of red on the scoreboard, the number of failed attempts. And Efremov, you know.
Well, we've had 9 attempts and only 2 good lifts so far.
And so Efremov now looking for 216. So this is 12 kilos up. He's given himself a little bit more recovery time. But he's heading for the 400s if he can do that, and that's not bad. Last effort.
Well,
if he'd made that, I just wonder what would have happened in terms of his ultimate outcome.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big difference. Looking at 12 kilo increase from his first attempt, so he finishes back on 396.
Yeah, he would have gone to 408, which would have been a personal best.
Well, he's got the consolation of the gold medal from the snatch, but I'm afraid that's all he's got from today.
Unless everybody else fails.
The way this is going.
That's not such a wild idea. Now here's Zaitsev on 394, 2 kilos behind Efremov. And he's lighter than Efremov, so this for the overall lead and second place in the clean and jerk.
Better, but needs to steady himself and stay on the platform.
Surely down signal.
Well, I think he's okay.
I think he's okay.
I didn't see any infringement there. And he is.
See, that down signal will only come when all 3 referees have pressed their lights. If one of them is hesitant, that's really unhelpful, but...
Well, just watch his feet now. They've got to be in line and steady. Big fight to hold it.
It was up there for quite a time.
It was. You can see the body trembling and shaking. Okay, Marty Rossian, 3rd attempt. This to give himself a total and stay in the competition. Big lift. That's there.
Oh, what a great fight and recovery.
Well, the sign of a true champion is somebody that can do that under pressure. And a champion he already is. And he has so much further to develop over the next few years. Still a couple of years in the junior ranks, just 18 years of age.
Worth mentioning, though, that the best in the clean and jerk, 228. And
yeah,
that's our
way off it.
Man from Uzbekistan, Duzmurotov. So Arturas Plesniks brings forward 179 kilos, 10th place, 217 for his opener. Certainly accomplished this on many an occasion.
That's a solid opening attempt. Much better than what we've seen from some of the lifters so far in the clean and jerk.
Yeah, that's really going to help his cause. Up from 10th place to 3rd overall, 2nd in the clean and jerk, only behind the man from the B group, so good effort. And yet, as you said, only 23, so at an age where he's likely to improve quite quickly.
Yes, he should be. This is the age where I guess most development, well, not most development, probably for the guys between the ages of about 18 and early 20s is where most development takes place. It's the time that the lifters really need to be pushed in training, make the most of the natural testosterone rushing around the body.
So, I have to say that Nawab Nazir Shalal has got a heck of a lot of work to do. He's coming in here at 2:20, and the conductor of the Iranian choir getting his group in order.
Well, you can just see the dropped chest as he dipped on the jerk. That's going to have cost him. Very hard to recover from there.
And you could see his frustration at the end there, and, you know, that's not a good sign either.
Just straight back leg as well, pulls the hips behind the bar.
Well, no Bartlemy bonkers. Mikhaila said he's decided after the 3 failures in the snatch not to take part, so Polish chances rest with Courious Mikowski, 2:20, but down in 13th place at the halfway stage. So 3 rather special attempts required. 2:20 to start his challenge.
Well, Makovski may have been down in 13th after the snatch, but that's just catapulted him right back up into 2nd place.
Indeed, in both the clean and jerk and the total. So, as you said, things can change, and David Bedzanian of Russia, also a poor first half, but...
Bedzanian has a very strong clean and jerk, doesn't he?
Yeah, 2:30 is posted his first attempt.
He probably has to hold, or have held, the world record for the shortest time ever. Last year, I think it was about a minute he held it for before it was broken again.
Sakikov of Kazakhstan, 2:25. He's still waiting in the wings, and also Timur Naniev of Russia, who's due to come out on 2:22. And here he is. So Naniev and Bedzanian, if they can really apply their power, they can claw their way back into this. So the European silver medalist, 222 the kilos, exactly what he lifted in those European Championships in Georgia last April. He has lifted more.
I don't know. That's not there, not at arm's length. really is the worst place to be, having missed the first attempt, coming off the platform, having to stay focused, stay composed.
And, you know, when you've gone through it and you know that, you know, the first half didn't really go to plan, but you also know that you should have a chance to actually pick things up in the second half, and then you come out and miss the first attempt, and suddenly you can't stop your heart sinking a little bit. Plesniks. Well, he's pulled himself together, and he finds himself in overall 4th place, 3rd in the clean and jerk. This would move him up into silver in both the second discipline and the overall total. So could be useful. 5 kilo increase.
Oh, needs to steady himself.
Now.
Ooh. I'm not going to pass judgment. Let's see what the referees give him.
You know, can't tell. I thought they would give it to him.
It was soft. It was soft as opposed to a press out. By that, I'm referring to the elbows.
So Plesniks now with a total of 401. Simon Marty of Armenia, who's finished his lifting, still leading on 402. In 3rd place, Makovski of Poland, but Naniev now to, if he picks this up, go into the lead and give himself a medal position in the clean and jerk. Can't afford to make a mistake.
That's so much better. And when you look at a lift like that, you think there's many more kilos to come. He is going to be desperately disappointed that he made that error on the first attempt, because, well, we'll have to wait and see how much or how costly that has been. But he's in the competition, 222.
Yeah, it's just limited where he can go. I mean, well, he may try an extravagant increase here to try and keep himself alive for the overall competition.
Well, you only get 2 attempts to change your weight, so I reckon he'll probably put it up to something like 235 and then bring it back down when he knows what weight he needs for a medal. Oh, Nasir Shalal playing a dangerous game. He missed 220, has now gone to 223. Obviously feeling that he's capable of more.
And they know that, again, this would put him into the lead for the moment and also put him into the medal roster for the clean and jerk. Not so many lifts left, but still one lifter yet to start.
At this point, you've got to question that decision to put the weight up. Having missed his first attempt, surely it's safer to get one lift in. It's not what you start on, it's what you finish on that matters. But here, backside comes up. Don't particularly like that, as I said in the snatch. Hardly weights at all, and then instead of driving with the legs, he pushes himself away. Back leg is straight, hips behind the bar out in front.
And he's going to have to follow himself because nobody else is going to want 223. Zashikov of Kazakhstan is the man who's yet to start, 225. And Bedzanian also has come down now from 230 to 225. He wasn't convincing in the first half, Bedzanian, by any means. He's definitely not the lifter of 12 months ago.
Oh my goodness. Nasir Shalal of Iran, having missed 220, then missed 223. He's going up to 227. Well, I guess this is what you say, all or nothing.
Absolutely is, and as a result of that, Bedzanian out for the first of his 3 attempts. Now, if he's going to go places, unlike his teammate Timur Naniev, he can't afford to throw this away. This he has to make.
Ooh, steady, steady. That'll do. Not the tidiest of lifts that we've seen. Attempts a power jerk rather than the traditional split jerk.
Yeah, as you say, a bit rough around the edges, but maybe the second one will be a bit more, a bit cleaner, a bit sharper. Clean was no problem at all.
No, it was okay, but as he dipped on the jerk, the bar actually came off his shoulders. That's a sign that the lifter's pushing with the upper body a bit too early. Did well to steady himself and save that lift.
Did 240 last year in the World Championships. He's going to need something like that.
Well, this is the man that's in convincing form right now.
Zashikov, silver medal, only a kilo behind, of course, Efremov, who's now, I'm afraid, slipped down to 7th place overall, and not a factor, of course, in the clean and jerk. So here's the man who could be king.
Nice. Well, that is convincing. One of the best lifts that we've seen so far on a first attempt. 225, he's in the competition, and he has a commanding lead now.
And of course, when you compare 191 to Bedzanian's 180, 11 kilos difference.
Well, out of the 2 of them, Zaichikov looks more convincing than Bedzanian, and it's Bedzanian that's chasing a 11 kilo deficit. So Bedzanian has to go, surely, to 236, I think, is the weight that he needs. Who has body weight?
Well, that's what he's gone to. 236.
He needs 237.
104.90 is his body weight. Zashikov is 104.37, so the Kazakh has got the lighter body weight. But
Bedzanian needs 237 then.
Plesniks for Latvia, 4 kilo increase. Now, this would put him into silver medal positions in both the clean and jerk and the total. We'll give him a total of 405 kilos. And that would be a personal best for him as well.
Well, that's great lifting.
Is 5 out of 6, and I have to say, don't know what you think, Michaela, but that's one of the best competitions I've seen him produce.
Yes, it is, and to lead the competition with personal best, what more can you ask for? At last we see the smile. Thoroughly deserved. Really good effort today.
And that will help his world ranking.
Yes, it will. He's a one-man band here. He's going to have to produce top 15 world ranking to qualify for the Games.
Well, inshallah is the word that comes to mind here for our Iranian friend, who really is asking a lot of himself. He failed at 220, 223, now going 226. It would creep him into the medals, and it would be a remarkable recovery. Hasn't got a total. And the odds were always against, weren't they?
Well, I just think that was foolish decisions. Chasing medals that were never there today. If you're going to achieve those kind of weights, you need to build from your first attempt.
And that's the 3rd man in this final who has failed to get a total.
Disappointing.
And although the man from the B group from Uzbekistan only got 394, he's going to get quite a decent ranking position. And, you know, you've got 2 Uzbekistan lifters in here. You've got Efremov, who's ended on 396, and his teammate from the B group 394. So those positions are going to earn them good points for or towards the Olympic challenge of earning places. Now 227, 5 kilo increase.
Oh, buried him at the bottom. Great leg strength to still be able to stand.
No, just stays where he is, 5th in the clean and jerk, 4th overall. His chance went really when he missed that first attempt in the clean and jerk. He was always playing catch up. He only had 182 kilos from the first part of the competition, 2 failures, and only 21. Plenty of improvement, plenty of time to improve. But I reckon, looking at his entry total of 412, he definitely came for more than he's achieved today. Now Mikowski, who's been lurking around for Poland, he's dropped to 6th place, but this is only his 2nd attempt. 8 kilos up, and this would push him into the medals. Really tough clean. One more go.
Well, that was a good effort. You see the clean having to work so hard. It's always tough on the jerk when you've expended so much energy already. Oh, that's a real shame. Sometimes it's not great when these lifters have so much time between 1st and 2nd, or between 2nd and 3rd attempts. Ideally, you're probably looking at about 3 or 4 minutes between attempts. Is a good time to recover. Much longer than that, and your legs start to switch off. You start to get a bit cold. But on the flip side, when you have a lifter right now like Mikowski, who's just failed a lift and he's following himself, he's only got 2 minutes, so that's almost not long enough.
Just reflecting on Bedzanian versus Zashikov. Zashikov's gone to 230 at the moment. Bedzanian still sitting on 236, but there's still that 11 kilos and body weight separating the two men. And, you know, all the odds are on Zashikov pulling this one off, aren't they? I mean,
you'd think so. He's gone 230 compared to Bedzanian's 236, and I think that's sensible, because if successful, that will mean that Bedzanian needs in excess of, I think he needs 242 or something.
Yeah.
So it's a really sensible call, not being drawn into the battle for the gold medal on the jerk. Firstly, let's secure the overall.
Yeah. Well, Zashikov, because of the 191 from the snatch face, he's got the luxury of actually taking, you know, measurable, intelligent steps. Bedzanian's got to, you know, throw the cards on the table and all the chips and everything. But now, can this man get into 2nd place in the clean and jerk and 2nd place in the total? It's a big moment for him, because there are only 2 other men out there, so no. That was the medal opportunity for Courious Mikowski of Poland.
That previous attempt just took too much out of his legs. Not enough time to recover, and this is the consequence. There really is an optimal recovery time for weightlifters, and it's around 3 minutes or so. 3 or 4 minutes is a good time.
So at the moment, the overall leader is this man, Zashikov, on 416 kilos. In silver medal at the moment, by virtue of body weight, is Artur Plesniks, and in bronze is Bedzanian. So whatever happens, you know, Plesniks is going to get medals for Latvia, which is great.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well, this could seal it. This could make it too much for Bedzanian. Oh, he's really strong overhead. Nothing wrong with that.
No, the whip that you see on the bar is quite simply because he stands out of the clean, wastes no time and goes straight for the jerk, and that bar is still whipping naturally. That's allowed. Deliberate oscillation is not. And surely that weight has to be enough to secure the gold overall. Surely Bedzanian doesn't have what it takes to fight back for the overall medal. In fact, looking at the scoreboard, Bedzanian has dropped his next attempt down to 2:31 in an attempt to try and secure the gold, at least, on the clean and jerk.
Yeah, and also to make sure that he goes into silver medal position ahead of Plesniks. So an intelligent move.
Easy clean. Better jerk. Oh, needs to stand still. And he does, just. So that's a silver medal guaranteed. For the gold medal, he's going to need 2:42, equal to the world record, if he's going to have any chance of taking the overall.
Yeah, but 2:42. Ilya Ilin's records. Because last night we saw one of Ilya Ilin's records attacked, and that stood the test. It might just be that Bedzanian is more, what do they put on there? He should concentrate on the clean and jerk, shouldn't he? I can't read that from there.
Can't see that.
Zashikov has just put 3
240.
kilos onto 233, 240. Is that 240?
Yeah, 240. Either they're going to go another couple of kilos, or they're going to bring it straight back down to 234 if Zaychikov is successful. Not really sure what they're thinking yet, whether or not he has a chance of going for the overall gold, or if he's just going to try and secure the gold on the clean and jerk.
Well, the Russian tactic was to make sure that Zaychikov comes out and finishes his lifting. So 4:21, 10 kilos ahead of Bedzanian at the moment. But this will be the killer blow if he gets this, surely. As you would expect.
Has to work so hard. Oh! As he dipped, the whip on the bar just pulled him forwards. Still managed to get it to arm's length, but just couldn't get himself fully under the bar. So, Bedzanian, he's got the gold on the clean and jerk.
He's got the silver overall.
He's got to go 242.
A lift for nothing.
Equal world record.
11 kilos? Well, we might as well put another one on. So it's sitting on, still sitting on 240.
242.
242, okay. Fine.
Equal world record, here we come.
Well, it'll be some finish to this competition, I'll tell you. Talk about pulling it out of the fire. When you consider that there were 11 kilos between this man and the current leader, Zaychikov, at the halfway stage. So, of course, 242 will not give him the world record. It will equal it, but you don't get it. You have to put an extra kilo on.
Gold medals first. That's a tough clean.
This for the championship.
Oh, my goodness. Surely he can't stand from that position.
No.
Can he?
No.
Oh.
No. No. I mean, again, terrific attempt. But as you can see, Zaychikov of Kazakhstan has done enough. 4:21. And he takes the 105 kilo category. And Bedzanian gets the overall silver, and the overall bronze goes to Arturas Plesniks of Latvia. The gold in the clean and jerk to Bedzanian, the silver to Zaychikov, and the bronze medal in the
B
group goes to Duzmuratov of Uzbekistan on 394. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon, 228. Well, I suppose it was fair to say that it was never going to live up to the competition last year. As you see the clean and jerk results here, Bedzanian there 2:31, just a kilo ahead of Zashikov. And there's the man from the B group up into the bronze medal position, Sadobek Duzmuratov of Uzbekistan, 2:28. And one has to say that the winning total of 421 kilos, when you look through the history of winning totals, well, Marcin Dowenga won the title for Poland with that sort of kiloage, but in recent years, Ilya Ilin, 432, Akayev of Russia, 430. It's in the lower range of kilos achieved to take the victory, but there it is. Nonetheless, a win's a win, and it's a commanding win, as you can see. Bedzanian the silver, Plesnik's a brilliant overall bronze.